Hello there. I'm here to show you a wonderful place.
How you doing today, Walton?
What's up, Grant? How are you, man?
I'm excited to chat with you, man. I've been a big fan of yours since the Justified days, and seeing you in everything from big in the MCU to unique with I'm a Virgo has just been amazing to see, and Fallout continues that wonderful trend of yours. I gotta say, the Ghoul is such a cool character, someone who has such an interesting look about him as well. And so I'm curious how long it took to really craft that look, both sitting in that makeup chair, but also working with the wardrobe team.
We started talking about it immediately. We began these conversations about 9 or 10 months before the show actually started filming. And one of the first takeaways was, okay, in crafting this person, we want to create, we want to take this opportunity to create something that doesn't repulse an audience, right? But makes them lean in to this experience and want to look at his face and to study his face, because it is in and of itself a roadmap of his life for the last 219 years since the bombs dropped. At one point, Jonah wanted to try contact lenses, you know, for his eyes. And after we had crafted everything and we had it on, we put them in, and aside from being extremely a claustrophobic person, and that the idea of it scared me, it just wasn't right because it took away his humanity. There was no way to connect with him. And we both realized just how powerful the eyes are when you take everything else away, you know? So it was that, and then it was just a combination of, we did it 3 times, the makeup test 3 times. And by the last one, we had it nailed down to kind of what it was going to be. And I went outside with all the makeup on and spent, you know, a couple of hours alone, you know, a few times, just kind of recording myself and thinking about him and looking at it and just kind of walking around and feeling the head, you know, and the hat, because the hat had to be bigger. The hat couldn't be my head size, right? But it had to be the prosthetics kind of head size. And kind of putting that on and off, and just understanding like what people could experience, right? And we soon found out that, you know, the pieces were made in a way that it was still me. It was still me, just 220 years later, and after a post-apocalyptic experience. And then it all came to it all came together once we put the clothes on. And there were 3 different options, and the third option was the one.
Well, now that is a very small drop in a very, very large bucket of drugs.
I love that. That sounds like a great way to really immerse yourself in that character. And I'm curious about his voice too, because obviously he's got very much your voice, but then in the Ghoul, he sounds very almost degraded in a way, very kind of harsher. And I'm curious how you went about finding the 2 different voices for Cooper and for the Ghoul.
They're just at 2 very different places in their life. And the Ghoul doesn't move that much unless he has to. He's like, and therefore he doesn't project his voice, or he's not a loud person unless he has to be, right? It's all about conserving energy and surviving another day. You know, Cooper, on the other hand, which you don't know some of this about his life. There have been hints and suggestions about what his life was, and it is some of that, and it's also much more complex than that. And he's just at a different place in his life, and he's a different person. And I tried to kind of really thought long and hard about how they communicate to each other over time. And so, you know, sense of humor is one way, and a anger on some level is another way, and and just a few ways in which I'll just leave as a surprise for you.
I definitely don't want to go spoiling it for our audiences either. So I will, I see I'm out of time already as it is. So I will get on out of here. But Walton, it's been an absolute honor to chat with you, man.
Thank you so much, Grant. I thank you so much for the support, my man. And I'll see you next time.
Absolutely.
Okay, buddy.
Hopefully.